Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. This weekend, it's not just about tries and tackles, is it? It's about a massive global shakeup.
Absolutely. We're talking power shifts, destinies being shaped, huge rivalries heating up across the whole rugby world.
Exactly. We're tracking, well, three pretty seismic events. From a battle for the #1 spot that could genuinely rewrite history to these really crucial clashes paving the road to the 2027 Rugby World Cup. So if you're keen on understanding the sort of hidden mechanics behind it all, you're definitely in the right place. Before we dive in, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession. You don't want to miss these deep dives.
And what's really captivating, I think, about this weekend is just how every single result sends ripples. It affects not just the immediate bragging rights, but that long-term strategic positioning.
Right. These World Rugby rating points we talk about, they really matter.
They do. They determine who's top, who's challenging. It's dynamic. It reflects continuous performance. They're not just static numbers. They're like a living barometer of momentum, strategy, and, frankly, the immense pressure these teams are under.
Okay, so let's unpack what's really at stake then, for the big names and maybe some you wouldn't expect on their World Cup journey.
Sounds good.
That's a perfect way to frame it. Let's kick off with what genuinely looks like an epic, a real headline act, you could say. The top-ranked team, New Zealand, holding that lead, coasting second-ranked South Africa.
Yeah, and they are right there, aren't they? Less than a point behind. It's incredibly tight.
And it's at Eden Park in Auckland. Legendary venue. This isn't just another game, is it? We're talking history here.
Oh, absolutely. If you zoom out a bit, New Zealand's putting that almost mythical 50-test unbeaten run at Eden Park on the line.
50 tests. Just think about that.
It's incredible. 3 decades of dominance at one ground, since France did it way, way back in '94. Only South Africa themselves and the Lions have even managed to avoid defeat there.
Wow. That fortress status, that's got to weigh heavy. On both teams, I imagine.
For sure. The psychological side of it is enormous. It makes the stakes for that #1 spot just colossal.
So it's really not just about the points, it's legacy too, isn't it? That 50-game record.
Yeah.
How do things play out for South Africa if they want to reclaim top spot?
Well, for the Springboks, it's crystal clear, though. Incredibly tough. They must avoid defeat. Simple as that.
Let's avoid defeat.
If it ends in a draw, a stalemate, that would actually put South Africa ahead. But only just. We're talking like 0.03 rating points, a tiny fraction.
No way. Imagine the final minutes. Knowing a draw puts you top.
Exactly. But a win for South Africa, any margin, that's even bigger. New Zealand would actually drop 2 places.
2 places.
Yeah, potentially fall behind Ireland into 3rd. And South Africa, back to #1, the spot they lost to the Wallabies just last month.
That is a dramatic shift. 1 win, potentially leapfrogging 2 spots. But knowing a draw gets them there. Does that change how they play? More conservative, maybe? Or does Eden Park just demand you go for the win?
That's the fascinating chess game, isn't it? It definitely adds a strategic layer. I mean, a draw gets the job done, rank-wise.
Yeah.
But the Springbok mentality, especially against the All Blacks at Eden Park, it usually screams, go for the win.
True.
Still, that tiny margin a draw offers, maybe it influences a late penalty decision, kick for the draw instead of a risky try.
It's good, too. And for New Zealand.
For the All Blacks, any win sees South Africa drop to 3rd, swapping with Ireland. But here's where they'll want to make a real statement. If they get a dominant win, we're talking more than 15 points.
Right.
They'd open up a really significant gap, like 1.83 points over South Africa.
A win like that, over 15 points, that's more than just securing #1, isn't it? That's a buffer.
Yeah.
Sends a message.
Oh, a huge psychological statement. It signals current dominance, sure, but also maybe plants a seed of doubt for rivals, looking ahead to the World Cup.
Yeah, reinforces that team-to-beat idea.
Definitely. And for South Africa, getting back on top, even by that tiny margin from a draw, it reaffirms they're right there, consistent challengers, builds confidence. The pressure, not just to win, but maybe win convincingly, is going to be immense on both sides.
What a narrative. That unbeaten record, the #1 spot. Yeah. Amazing story for you to follow this weekend. Okay, so from that massive clash, let's head over to Townsville, Australia and Argentina. Still high stakes, even if it's not for #1, shows every spot counts.
Indeed. Down in Townsville, you've got the Wallabies, Australia, currently 6th, hosting Las Pumas, Argentina, who are 7th, round 3 of the Rugby Championship. And yeah, this one's all about #6, really, solidifying that spot.
So for Australia, What's the actual difference between staying 6th or dropping 7th? Does it really matter for things like World Cup draws or even, I don't know, funding and things?
It absolutely matters.
Yeah.
A win for Australia won't see them jump higher right now. There's just too big a points gap to England in 5th. But losing, that's significant. The loser on Saturday will drop to 7th.
Okay.
And that's a definite downgrade in a tight part of the table. These positions, they can definitely influence future World Cup seedings.
Ah, right. Lower seed means potentially tougher path.
Exactly. Tougher pool, maybe tougher quarterfinal. It makes a difference. Plus, you know, national pride, funding, attracting players, it all plays a part. So Australia might not climb, but they're desperate not to fall. That's a different kind of pressure.
Playing not to slip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Changes the dynamic. What if it's a draw?
A draw. Neither team actually moves rank, stays 6th and 7th. But interestingly, Argentina would gain a few rating points, like 0.45, and Australia would lose the same amount. So even a draw shifts the underlying scores a bit. And you've got to remember, Los Pumas are coming off that massive win against the All Blacks. Huge confidence boost.
Yeah, that was something.
So for them, it's about building momentum. Can they back it up? If they don't win against Australia, they stay 7th, no matter the score. So this match really, it sort of paints the title race picture for the championship, you know? Shows who's got the form to really challenge.
Good point about momentum. Argentina trying to build, Australia trying to hold firm, high stakes for bragging rights, momentum, and crucially, avoiding that 7th spot. Every point counts. We'd love to hear your predictions for this one. Drop them in the comments. And don't forget that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession so you catch all our analysis.
And just to expand on that paint the title race picture idea, this match tells us who can deliver consistently at this level. Argentina's win over NZ was maybe a shock to some, but backing it up against a tough Wallabies side away from home, that signals real contention.
Right. And for Australia, a win keeps them in the mix, shows some resilience.
Exactly.
Okay, so beyond the big Rugby Championship games, there are other vital matches happening. Pacific Nations Cup, a Sudamericano clash, and these have massive implications for the Rugby World Cup 2027.
Yeah, this is where you see the truly global impact. Let's look at Uruguay versus Chile. Uruguay 16th, Chile's 20th. But way more important than the ranking points. For Uruguay, this is their shot. A chance to lock in a place at RWC 2027 in Australia.
Wow, direct qualification on the line.
They go into this second leg with a decent 12-point lead on aggregate. So basically avoid a big loss or win, and they're in. They qualify.
That's huge for a nation like Uruguay. Getting qualification sorted this early, what does that mean for them? More planning time.
Yeah.
Better prep.
Oh, it's transformational, seriously.
Yeah.
It gives them a clear 2-year runway. They can plan properly, develop players without that last-minute qualifying pressure, line up better warm-up games, maybe attract more resources.
Stability?
Exactly. Crucial for growing the game in emerging nations, boosts national pride, interest, could really lift participation.
Makes sense. But Chile still have a chance, right?
They do, and their own ambitions are significant. They could hit a new ranking high 19th if they win this by more than 15 points. Okay. And that same margin, more than 15 points, would also be enough for them to qualify for the World Cup instead of Uruguay.
Wow. So that specific margin is the magic number for them. Qualification and a ranking high.
Yeah, and they could even sneak up to 18th if, say, the USA lose heavily to Tonga. Just shows how interconnected it all is.
Incredible drama there. Every point, every try, literally opening the door to a World Cup dream.
What about other movers? Fiji and Japan, they're 9th and 13th?
Yeah, they're in a funny spot. They actually can't improve their ranking this weekend, even if they beat Samoa and the USA respectively.
So why the big effort then, if they can't climb?
Well, it's still vital. Firstly, you play to keep your rating points, avoid slipping down later. Future seedings always matter.
True.
Secondly, is crucial for team building, testing combinations, tactics, keeping momentum going. For teams like Fiji and Japan, who often punch above their weight, every test is a chance to learn, develop, prepare for the big stage. It's always about performance and progression, even if that ranking number doesn't tick up immediately. Right. High-performance sport, always playing for something. What about their opponents, Samoa and the USA?
Well, Samoa, who are 14th, they could actually jump over Japan into 13th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if they beat Fiji by more than 15 points. Or even by less if Japan happens to lose their game. So results elsewhere matter for them.
Interconnected again.
Exactly. And the USA, down at 18th, They could move above Tonga, who are 17th, if they manage to beat Japan at home. And, other results fall their way. But a loss for the USA, they drop below Portugal. So lots of subtle shifts possible, avoiding drops. And then that huge qualification prize for Uruguay or Chile. It's a complex web. Every game matters.
It really is a constant dance in those rankings. So zooming out, what's the big takeaway? Every try, every kick, it really can reshape a nation's rugby future, can it? From number one right down to that World Cup qualification fight.
Absolutely. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it just highlights how dynamic global rugby is, always evolving. These results, they aren't just for this weekend. They're laying groundwork for future tournaments, future stories, especially with RWC 2027 qualification right there for some teams. It really makes you ask, how will these results shape the path to that next World Cup? What legacies get built this weekend?
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
The fine margins in these rankings, they're often a pretty powerful hint of what's to come.
Absolutely. Well, we are definitely excited for you to tune in and see how it all pans out. We really hope this deep dive has given you a clearer, maybe richer picture of just how much is on the line this weekend, why it's also unmissable. Definitely let us know your predictions in the comments. Tell us what you're most excited to watch. And one last time, please do hit that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession so you never miss our deep dives into the sport we love. Thank you so much for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we look forward to you listening to our next episode.